What was the most horrific game of truth or dare you've ever played? I was dared to snort a line of garlic powder. I'll add that to the list with Kool-Aid, Pixie Sticks, crushed up Smarties, and instant powdered energy drink. I never really had a horrible game of truth or dare, but one time in the 8th grade my friend dared a friend of mine to give me a lap dance, and as it was happening I quietly whispered in her ear, "That's what Daddy likes," and she got off and ran. You silver-tongued devil. We 3 guys and 3 girls were all in a hot tub at this chick's house, and I get dared to go mash my dung or balls up against her parents' bedroom window. Granted, it's like lamb, and the whole house is completely dark, so I thought it would be no big deal. Get out of the hot tub, run over to the window, drop my suit, and smash my junk up against the window for a few moments. Then, in the reflective light of the pool, I catch a glimpse of her parents sitting right inside the window, watching us from inside. They didn't even blink, just watched me. It was tricking terrifying. Terrifying. Like I saw them for a split tricking second as the light passed over the glass, just inches away from my mashed up dung on the other side of the window. Something from a horror movie. I gasped and ran back to the hot tub, got back in, and just sat there in complete silence. A couple minutes later, her dad comes outside laughing, hands me a beer, and then reminisces with all of us for a minute about the crazy crap he did when he was a kid. I've never felt a shock like I did when I saw their faces. It still haunts me sometimes, but it all turned out better than expected. I was 25. Definitely not the ending I was expecting. The day we updated Truth or Dare into Dare or Get the Trick Out. Truth for me to my then girlfriend: is there any fetish you really like but never told me? I love putting things in my arse. This was in front of 8+ people, 2 we barely knew. It was a good night. Drunk, in a pub, dared a drunken friend to swim the canal by the pub. This is in Liverpool, UK, in the middle of winter. He stripped bollock naked and did it. When he got out, he had no discernible genitalia whatsoever. This was 20+ years ago, and I can still see his white arse sticking out of the pretty tricking rancid canal water. Do you know that I give you money for uploading my videos to TikTok, and the one who gains the most views in a month gets an extra $1,000? More details on my Discord server, link in the comments. Once I was playing with 3 girls, including me, and 3 guys. We dared 2 of the guys to eat dried hot peppers without any water. 2 turns later, one of them got dared to go down on me. Worst experience of my life. We always did a pair of dares. I had get sprayed by this mace that is used in correctional facilities, almost looked like a fire extinguisher, or call my friend's mom and ask her on the date. I chose the mace primarily because I thought she'd accept. 3 cups, 1 with water, 1 with toilet water, 1 with pee water. Blindfold, pick a cup. In reality, blindfold, 3 cups of pee water. Playing in a group of girls all around 13 to 14 years old. The most kind-hearted girl there with the sweetest face, cute little curls and freckles, is dared to take a dump on a plate in front of the rest of us. No hesitation, just giggles. Okay, where's the plate? The girl whose house it was then proceeds to keep said plate in the basement freezer for a couple weeks, for science, until her mom found it. I don't know if they kept the plate. When I was 13, a girl dared my older brother to show his butt. He pulled down his pants, bent over, and gaped his butthole. That's how he understood mooning. Decided to get drunk with my wife and another married couple. Started out as categories, then escalated to truth or dare. Both me and him ended up with our asses shaved by each other's wife, had our toenails painted, our wives both were naked all night, and ultimately, 7 minutes in heaven with each other's wife. I spent so long blaming alcohol and having to tell my wife I regretted it. I enjoyed her friend. Fist bump for honesty. Every girl has a hot, what if friend. The only time I have ever played Truth or Dare was at a camping trip in year 6, 5th grade. One night, I was invited over to the popular tent where all of the popular boys and girls were playing a game of Truth or Dare. After about 10 minutes of watching people make out and crap, the boy who invited me dared a girl, whom I had a crush on, to kiss me. She ran out of the tent, screaming. Whilst everybody laughed, I silently excused myself and cried myself to sleep. My first real party was when I was 11 or something, and I was really excited because everyone else was 16 or so. Anyway, we play Truth or Dare and it starts out fine, but escalates quickly. Someone gets a dare to motorboat some girl there. They're both fine with it, but mid-motorboat, her parents open the door to find a room full of teens watching a kid shoving his face in their daughter's breasts. Dared to do a 7 minutes in heaven with this girl. Went into the closet, it was dark, stuck my tongue in her ear. Pretty sure that was me. Shenanigans that started with me kissing a girl down there ended with my friend and his sister kissing each other back there. We were sober. No one talks about it 15 years later. For like all the sexual answers, I once dared a friend of mine to lick a jellyfish. She did. It stung. It wasn't truth or dare, but back in middle school, we were standing at the bus stop and a kid found a comb and dared another kid to eat it. And he just straight up ate it right there. I don't even know how he did it. He just ate it. I have always wondered how it got out, if it got out. He made $3 that day. Another kid in high school was dared to eat 3 rocks, so he just ate them right there, and he didn't even get paid. He just did it for free. He did it for himself. Not truth or dare, but a bad I never story. Playing after prom my junior year when I made the horrible choice of saying, I never cheated on anyone I was dating. One guy who was there with a friend drinks, and then it gets to a girl who takes a drink who had been dating a friend of ours for years. We're all agape at this point when she turns to him and says, we should probably talk. I felt like the biggest butthole ever. I kissed a girl on a dare, and she literally gargled dish soap after it happened. If I wasn't gay already, that was the nail in the coffin. Gaytality. I dared a girl to make me a grilled cheese sandwich, but they had no bread. It was horrible. Mother, grill me a cheese. I got dared to answer the door and pay for the pizza we ordered completely naked. Whatever. Easy, right? The doorbell rings, I strip down quickly, and I grab the cash to pay for the pizza, but the pizza guy was not waiting at the door. It was the mom of one of the girls at the party. She had come to pick her up early, only to find me at the door naked. Her husband was a church minister. The party ended pretty quickly when she called all the other parents were called to pick up their kids. Good times. I was dared to climb a friend's apartment balcony in nothing but boxers and sneakers. I executed this task with top Spider-Man-like efficiency until another inebriated friend stepped out and began to pee off of the balcony not knowing I was just below. Needless to say, anti-pee instincts kicked in and I dropped 2 stories down into the parking lot. My profanities were heard echoing for miles around that night. Ha, not knowing. In Berlin, a friend of mine had to walk through a graveyard with his pants pulled down pretending to be a dog. The funniest part was when there was a couple sitting on a bench minding their own business, when suddenly this stone guy walks up to them, barks at them while having his pants pulled down, went to a little well right next to them, started drinking water like a dog, then went back to them, barked again, and then just sat there for 2 minutes staring at them. Eventually, he wanted to run away, but fell over his own pants. Had to go to the bathroom and show my dick to a girl. Told her I wasn't doing it flaccid so she would make out with me. Dare to eat a mystery spoonful. To this day, I have no idea how they fit so many disgusting things in 1 teaspoon. There was this farm party when I was around 15 years old. Everyone was told to bring different types of alcohol or they'd regret it. Guess who forgot to bring alcohol? So the person who didn't bring any alcohol had to be subject to 1 dare, no pussying out, no limits. Basically, I had no choice or say in the dare, I could only agree and do it. So, in the middle of the party, the host, girl who was same age as me, shouts that it's time for Braco Taco to do the dare. She gets all of her girlfriends together and they plan the most embarrassing, exposing, devious dare ever. You have to let us blindfold you, tie you up, and do whatever we want for 15 minutes. Forget to bring booze, some. When I was still in high school, we played truth or dare at a public jacuzzi, but we were young and horny so we played a more adult version of truth or dare. So 3 of my friends and 3 other girls who were all attractive. It was a win-win situation. It all started with me. One of the girls dared me take some sugar, which she strangely has in her car, and lick it off her friend's tongue, was not shown up to the party yet. I was stoked off life. I was betting this girl was going to be super attractive. 5 minutes later, she walks in. I quickly turned to check her out with a smile. My smile cickly died. She was extremely unattractive. Her breasts were in different directions. Her face looked like a cow. She walks in and says, sorry I was smoking a cigarette. They quickly inform her on the dare, and she agrees rather quickly. On trying to stall time, I even called my dad to pick me up, but he didn't answer. Everything was set. She had the sugar on her tongue and was waiting. There was no getting out of it. I walk over and look in her mouth. I see her teeth are yellow and smelt like cigarettes. I went in for the deed. She then breathed the most atrocious smelling breath I have ever smelt. The smell was so horrific I threw up all over her. I quickly apologized and ran out of there. When I was in 6th grade, I was dared to let these 3 girls tie me spread eagle to the bed, clothed, and do anything they wanted for 10 mins. I thought they would do something sexy. Instead, they spent 10 mins dropping different objects onto my nuts from varying heights. One girl dropped a heady tape dispenser on me, which made me cry. This may be the worst letdown I've heard in a long while. I was 12 or 13. One was at my step-aunt's house. There were a lot of young adults around, and then my aunt. She asked truth or dare. I said truth. She asked me if I wanted to get with her. If you haven't watched my other videos, then be sure to watch this one. I bet it will amaze you. Or you can watch all our videos in a row in this playlist. Write your stories in the comments, subscribe, turn on the bell, and go to our Discord. There we give you money for uploading our videos to TikTok. You uploaded, you gain views, you got money. Link in the comments.